Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. They said he was too cold to love, that his heart was locked behind 1,000 walls. But then came Wang Yibo, calm, quiet, unreadable. Yet somehow he knew exactly how to reach the one person no one else could. What did he do? How did he make Xiao Zhan's heart beat differently? Without a single confession. Stick around, because what you're about to discover will change the way you see them forever. There are moments in life when words simply fall short, when the quiet presence of another person speaks volumes louder than any grand confession ever could. That's precisely what makes Wang Yibo's connection with Xiao Zhan so powerful. In a world obsessed with loud declarations and performative affection, their bond is built on something far more enduring: the unspoken language of care. Yibo has never been one to chase the spotlight. He moves with quiet purpose, noticing the smallest details that others miss. On set, he instinctively adjusts things to make Xiao Zhan more comfortable, offering his jacket without hesitation, shifting the lighting subtly so his co-star doesn't squint, even remembering which tea helps him sleep when he's anxious. These aren't scripted moments. They're not gestures for show. They are quiet choices, offered freely without expectation. What touches people most isn't just that Yibo is observant. It's that he listens when no one else is paying attention. He hears the things Xiao Zhan never says out loud, and responds with presence, not pressure. Their connection seems to exist in a space between glances, in the small silences that most would overlook. And that's where the real magic lies. Because in those silences, Yibo tells Xiao Zhan everything he needs to hear. That he sees him, that he respects him, and that he's not going anywhere. Their relationship isn't built on fireworks. It's built on trust, subtlety, and an emotional depth that lingers long after the moment has passed. And perhaps that's the truest kind of love there is. There is a moment when the final cut echoes across a soundstage. Lights dim, assistants scatter, and applause falls into hush, and the faint smell of studio dust. In that stillness, real relationships are tested, because no script remains. For Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan, the closing of the studio doors never marked an ending. It was the starting bell of a quieter, sturdier friendship that refused to dissolve when the spotlight blinked out. Long after wrap times, Yibo would wander the corridor maze to an unused rehearsal room where Xiao Zhan calmed his nerves by sketching charcoal landscapes. He sat a respectful distance away, polishing motorcycle parts or refining lyrics, speaking only when spoken to yet always present. On nights when rain flooded Beijing and chauffeurs were delayed, Yibo borrowed an umbrella from security, walked the block and waited, wordless, soaked, unwavering. Holidays should have scattered them, yet they gravitated toward the same places. A coastal town whose lighthouse appeared in Xiao Zhan's childhood watercolor. A pottery studio in Chengdu where Yibo learned to center clay so he could gift an imperfect mug. No glossy selfies emerged. The only record was a string of Polaroids kept inside a shared leather notebook, pages rumored to be turned only on long rides. Digital distance never dulled their habit of ordinary care. While their schedules stretched across continents, they exchanged 60-second voice notes, each opening with a small observation. A cafe that sells the cinnamon rolls Xiao Zhan once craved at dawn. An obscure hip-hop track Yibo found in Seoul that might suit his friend's vocal range. During sleepless studio sessions in Shanghai, Xiao Zhan received a midnight courier. A wooden box holding earplugs carved from walnut. The initials XZ burned beneath a tiny compass rose. When public storms gathered, Yibo's loyalty grew quieter still. He argued with no one, but mailed postcards from distant airports, never dated, never signed, bearing a single line from their favorite Tagore stanza. Those cards stayed propped against a mirror while headlines raged, silent proof that somebody, somewhere, still chose him. Months later, when Yibo fractured his collarbone rehearsing a stunt, the first bouquet in his room arrived and signed. Nurses whispered it came with ginger broth and a note urging patience. Even physical distance never meant emotional silence. When filming kept them 12 time zones apart, they rehearsed new scripts over video calls at the overlapping dawn. each reading the other's lines so naturally producers wondered which voice the microphone captured. They made a pact that once the industry noise became too heavy, they would vanish for a week and climb a May mountain, phones off, letting sky and pine needles remind them who they were before fame. No contract binds them now, no joint project forces proximity, yet their orbits do not drift. They remain each other's compass setting, the quiet check-in before turbulence, the steady hand found in ordinary darkness. Beyond any set, beyond rumor or romance, they have built a friendship that moves like groundwater, hidden, patient, unstoppable, and it keeps every promise applause cannot. The backlash arrived like a tidal surge, unannounced, merciless, rolling over Xiao Zhan's carefully built life with a roar that drowned out reason. In a single weekend, sponsorships vanished, studio doors that had always stood open clicked shut, and the internet pulsed with accusations that multiplied faster than anyone could fact-check them. He stopped checking his phone because each notification felt like a stone to the chest. Friends who had sworn eternal camaraderie fell silent, replying with guarded emojis or not at all. But one number never muted, one presence never retreated: Wang Yibo's. Yibo understood that consolation offered in public feeds the very fire it hopes to extinguish, so he chose something subtler yet infinitely louder: constancy. He kept Xiao Zhan's contact pinned to the top of his chat list and answered every late-night call, whether it lasted an hour of shaking breaths or only 30 seconds of shared silence. He sent voice notes from dressing rooms and airport lounges, brief updates about a new motorcycle engine or a stray cat outside rehearsal. Tiny reminders that life, in all its ordinary beauty, still waited. None of these messages acknowledged the headlines. They simply insisted that the man behind them still mattered. When brand managers quietly suggested erasing old interviews that mentioned Xiao Zhan, Yibo refused. He amended no scripts, deleted no footage, apologized for nothing. Instead he wore, for 3 consecutive press junkets, a slim silver chain Xiao Zhan had designed years earlier for a charity gala. Reporters noticed, speculation flared, yet Yibo answered no questions. The necklace spoke on his behalf. Loyalty needs no caption. Offline, his gestures were even quieter. He wired an anonymous donation to a children's hospital foundation where Xiao Zhan had once volunteered, choosing the exact sum of their first shared payslip, an inside memory only the two of them would recognize. He sent a courier to deliver a battered paperback of Camus' The Plague, margins filled with his own reflections on endurance, the message clear: survive this moment. Humanity persists. On the flyleaf he wrote a single line: storms reveal which trees take root. During those months Xiao Zhan rarely left home, but one dawn his neighbors reported a low motorcycle idle outside the compound gate, engine humming like a heartbeat. No paparazzi caught the rider's face. They only caught a glimpse of a hand leaving a thermos of hot tea by the security post before speeding away. Xiao Zhan later admitted the tea tasted of goji berries and longan, exactly how his grandmother brewed it when he was small. Gradually the uproar subsided, as every storm does. Contracts returned, fans reopened their hearts, stages lit up again. Yet what Xiao Zhan remembers most from that winter is not the cruelty of strangers but the unwavering quiet beside him. When applause finally greeted him again, he looked to the wings and found Yibo standing there, arms folded, expression calm, as though the world's judgment had never mattered. Perhaps it never did. For in that crucible of doubt, one truth had set like iron. When everything else fell away, one man stayed. This year, something unexpected happened. A fan spotted identical minimalist rings on both stars' fingers. Rings never worn before, but eerily alike. On a closer look, they shared the same engraving in Latin. Spero. Taceo. Amo. I hope. I am silent. I love. No one confirmed it. No one denied it. But for fans, it was a quiet thunder. Even more recently, during a charity event in Tokyo, both were seen donating anonymously, through the same obscure foundation for youth mental health. Coincidence? Perhaps. But the foundation released a thank you note with 2 signatures. Just initials. WY and XZ. They don't say I love you out loud. Instead, they say, don't skip meals. Here, I saved this for you. Rest if you're tired. Love in their world is about presence, stillness, a glance that lingers, a laugh that only comes when the other is near. Even Xiao Zhan, usually composed and careful, laughs more freely when Yibo is close. He once tripped during a stage rehearsal. Everyone panicked. Yibo didn't move. He simply raised his hand and said, "He's fine." He always lands on his feet. That trust? Unshakable. What makes their story magical isn't that it's perfect. It's that it's real. They've weathered storms, faced doubts, kept each other grounded when the world wanted to tear them apart. And even now, rarely seen together, they remain in sync in subtle, breathtaking ways. Fans have spotted matching phone cases. Xiao Zhan once wore a fragrance Yibo was known to like. During a live Q&A, Yibo was asked about his comfort food. He smiled and said, "Whatever he's cooking." He didn't say a name, but everyone knew. This isn't a drama. It's not scripted. It's not exaggerated. It's two souls navigating chaos and choosing each other in silence. No public declarations. No grand displays. Just the kind of love that whispers, "I'm here. I'm not leaving." If this story touched your heart even just a little, then you understand the kind of love most of us dream about. So go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to Star Watch now, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a story filled with heart, mystery, and the most touching moments from the world of K-stars. Speech Balloon, drop a comment below. Do you believe love like this can truly exist? Thank you for being here. Until next time, keep watching, keep feeling, and keep believing. Only on Star Watch now, where every second holds a hidden wonder. Glowing star.